Here, we'll work with art brushes. Art brushes stretch artwork or an embedded raster image evenly along the length of a path. And as with other brushes, we can edit the brush option to affect how the brush is applied to the artwork. First, in the Brushes panel, I'll click the panel menu icon and deselect Calligraphic Brushes and choose Show Art Brushes. So there are my art brushes. Now, at the bottom of the Brushes panel, I'm going to click the Brushes Library menu button. And I'm going to choose Artistic and Artistic Chalk Charcoal Pencil. And that brings up another panel. I'll click the panel menu icon and choose List View. And then I'll click the brush named Charcoal in the list to add it to the main Brushes panel. And there it's been added to the main Brushes panel. And now I'll select the Paintbrush tool. And in the Properties panel, I'll make sure that there is no fill color. And I'll change the stroke color to the Fern Green swatch. There it is. And I'll change the stroke weight to 10 points. And now I'll move the paintbrush tool over to the left side of the lake, and I'll click, hold, and drag to create a path. And you can see the effect of the brush here. It's almost as if it looks like a fern leaf. And I'll draw a few more of those paths. If I don't like them, I can undo them or reshape them if I like. I'll draw one down there. So because of that kind of squiggled effect of the brush, it almost looks like plant forms like ferns. So now I'll get my selection tool and I'll select one of those paths that I drew. And then I'll go up to Select. Down to Same. And over to Stroke Color to select all three of those paths. And then on the Properties panel, I'll click the Group button so that all of those are grouped together. Now, we'll create our own art brush from some artwork that's been done for us. I'll choose the second artboard from the artboard selector there down at the bottom. And there we've got a little tree, and we're going to turn this into an art brush. It's pretty easy. I'll just select the artwork, and in the Brushes panel, I'll click the New Brush icon. And in this dialog box, I want to make sure that I click the Art Brush radio button there so that we are creating an art brush, and I'll click OK. And then we have a dialog box. I'll just rename it Tree. And for now, I'll leave all of the options as they are. And I'll click OK. And then I'll deselect that tree, and you can see that the new brush has been added to the brushes panel, named Tree. I'll go back to the main artboard, number 1. And now with the selection tool, I'll click the purple line just to the right of the cabin. And then in the brushes panel, I'll click the brush named Tree to apply it to that stroke. And you can see it's applied that brush to it. However, the tree is a little elongated. It's not really fitting there the way we'd like it to. It's stretched along the path. So I'm going to edit that art brush. And with the path still selected, I'm going to double click the thumbnail for the tree brush. And I'll choose Stretch Between Guides. You can see now that Stretch to Fit Stroke Length is chosen, and that's what makes the tree look too elongated. So I'll click the Stretch Between Guides button. And it gives me some options here. I'm going to start at 5.875 inches. And the end at 7.5414 inches, which is the default setting. And then I'll click OK. And now we get this dialog box. I do want to apply this new brush to the stroke, so I'll select that. And you can see how it changed. It's now in a better proportion along with the other trees. So that's a little bit of work with art brushes.